Hello everyone, myself Saurabh Maheshwari and I welcome you all to the ongoing lecture series on C programming. We are doing the topic functions, and in functions we have seen how to pass parameters to the function, and in this series we have seen that how to pass variables to the function by passing their values. The problem that we have seen in passing parameter by values is that a copy of the actual parameters is created by the formal parameters. So this causes data redundancy. Now, to avoid this data redundancy, C programming has also a provision of passing the variable values by reference. In this method, the value of the actual parameter will not be passed to the function. Instead of that, the reference to the actual parameter is passed to the formal parameter, and formal parameters works on the same data which is available with the calling function. Okay, so let us see this concept with the help of this example, where the program is for adding the digits of all the integer that we saw in the previous lecture video. But here now we will convert this program into passing variables by reference. So one thing you have to note here, that no actual argument will be passed in the form of their values. Instead of that, the reference to the parameter. So from this particular calling function, this main is the calling function, and this add digits is the called function. Okay, so from calling and called in the passing variables by value method, a copy of the variable in the calling function is created in the called function when the variables are passed by the values. So if there is some variable available here, some data available here, its copy is created, its same copy is created in the called function. Okay, then this causes a redundancy because the same data is available here also and here also. Any change in the data which is done over here does not reflect directly on this particular data. If you want to reflect the changes, you have to return the values, okay, and update these values. Fine, return and update these actual parameters. Okay, so this is the disadvantage of passing variables by value, that there is redundancy of data. Fine, and change in the formal parameters, change in formal parameters does not reflect to does not reflect automatically to actual parameters. So the solution that C programming has it for, instead of passing the actual parameter, the reference to the actual parameter will be passed. So if suppose this is the block 1, and this is for main function, and if there is another block which is for add digit function, this is block 2. Okay, now from block 1 to block 2, while copying the value by passing the parameter by value, this created a suppose has value 54397. So the copy of this variable is created in the form of t, which has the same value copied at the called function. Okay, so what happens, any change is performed in t does not directly reflect on a. Okay, but in the concept where the reference is passed, okay, the reference is catched by a pointer because it is an address. Okay, we have seen address. So suppose this is has the address 1000. So instead of passing this particular value, the address of the variable is passed to the called function. Okay, and since it is the address, it requires a pointer to catch it. So suppose this would be a pointer t. Okay, and it might have its own address at 2000, and here this t is going to store the address of the block 1 variable a. Okay, and this, as soon as this address is assigned here, it starts pointing to the location of another block. I have told you previously that the two blocks of memory can't communicate directly. The variables that are declared in one block are completely different from the same name variables assigned in the block 2. So the rules applicable here also, but here we have used the reference pointers to access the memory location of another block. Okay, so what we have done, that the address of block 1, which is 1000, is passed to the called function. So this 1000, the variable of the formal parameter of the called function, has stored the address of actual parameter. Okay, formal parameter of called function stored address of actual parameter of calling function. Okay, and previously formal parameter of called function stores values of the actual parameter. Okay, copy of the values of the actual parameter. Okay, now anything that will happen with this pointer t. Okay, anything that will happen with this pointer t. What do you mean by pointer t? That is value at address in t. Okay, so address in t is 1000. So value at 1000 is simply 54397. So anything, the change that will occur with this pointer t would reflect directly on this variable a. Okay, would reflect directly on this variable a. This is the important point to note. Now we are creating this particular program with two different options. First is pass and return data using pointer. Okay, so I will pass data and also return data with the help of pointer. Okay, so I have passed the actual parameter. Okay, A has been passed to the T with the help of reference. And what do you mean by reference? Reference is nothing but address. Okay, and the catching formal parameter needs to be a pointer. Okay, so this is an address and it is cached by a pointer. Now we have declared another variable s. Okay, this s is used for storing the summation of the digit, and there is a pointer p which holds the address of this s. Right, then we print that what is the value of pointer t. You can see that a in main is 54397, which is printed from this statement, and this line is printed from this statement where the pointer t also holds the same value as a. Okay, so it means the value to the called function has been passed properly. Okay, then we perform the process of the digit summation, and thus in the summation we use pointer t instead of t, which we used in the previous example for the passing variable by value. We used here direct value. Here the t stores the address, so pointer t would denote the value. So this 54397, which is the value of A, it is changed as 5439, 543, 545. So this value is updated, while previously all the changes happened in this particular value only, in this value only. In the previous example with the value, what happens, this changes is 54397, and this was T here, and this was 54397. This was A here. So when the values pass there and the changes happen in T takes place in this particular variable only, that is 543, then 3 is deleted, then 4 is deleted, and then 5 is left, and then it, and in the end it becomes 0. Okay, so this happens with this particular variable only. This value faces no change, but in this case, this there is since this address is directly accessing this particular value, so it would be 5439, then this 9 will get deleted, then this 3, then this 4, and this 5. Okay, and in the end it would become 0. So here if you print, if you again print A, you will get 0. Okay, this you can check from your side that this A has changed. This A, which was initially 54397 originally, okay, so this would change as A equals to 0. Now let us see what happens with this. Every time we are printing this percent %t, actually we are printing the value at address in thousand, and this value at address in thousand is changing this regularly. Okay, so this would we would say, this value at address thousand. These all are the values, changing values at the address thousand. Now the sum is in the variable s. Okay, and we are returning this p. Now what does p holds? P holds the address of s. Okay, and this address of s is the variable created here. Suppose it has thousand, it has address 3000, and it, after the processing of the while loop, it has the sum stored as 28. Now returning the pointer, we are using method to return data using pointer, passing the value to passing the parameter through address, and we will also return the address of the output parameter. So output parameter is s, and we are returning it with the help of a pointer p. Okay, so writing directly ampersand s is not allowed. Okay, so it would give a logical error. So return p would be written. Okay, a pointer will be used, and this pointer variable would be passed. This address would be passed to a corresponding pointer variable at the uh, calling function. Okay, so this sum is also a pointer available here. So what will happen? This sum is a pointer of integer type. Suppose it has address. Sorry, I will write here. So sum. This is sum, and suppose it has address 4000. So as this address p equals to ampersand s. So what is ampersand s? Ampersand s is 3000. This 3000 is returned to this sum. So this sum stores now this 3000. You can see that the actual sum, which was 28, has never been passed. Okay, that it has not passed, it has passed only the address. Okay, so as soon as this address is passed, this s, the pointer sum, starts pointing to the variable s of the block 2. So a relationship between block 1 and block 2 is created, and this s was not actually passed. The variable s stands here, and it stores 28, and this 28 has never been passed from called to calling function. It has never been returned. Okay, what is returned is only the address of s, and this address of s is stored in this sum. So if you will print this pointer sum, now what is pointer sum? Pointer sum is value at address in sum. Okay, so value at address in sum. So what is address in sum? Is value at 3000, and you can see that value as 3000 is 28. So that is why this 28 is printed over here. So if I ask you what is the final value of a, yes, a is 0. You can see from here, because we access directly the a with these elements. A was actually the actual parameter of main function, but it is accessed by the add digit function with the help of the pointer. Then we saw that returning, we could directly return with the help of this returning this s only. But if you want, this would create a copy. Okay, the s was created here, and transfer if I transfer this as sum, so what will happen? A copy of this sum will be created, and this 28 will be stored two times. But what we have done here is to calculate sum over here and only pass its address, which is 3000, okay, which is 3000 to the sum pointer. Fine. And this sum pointer stores now the address and points to the variable s of the block 2. Okay, give very this is very logical thing to remember that different blocks of memory are accessing each other memory location by pointer only, and there is no passing of the actual value. The variables who are declared in block 1 remains in block 1. Their values does not pass to another block. Okay, and the variable s which is created in the block 2, its value is never passed to the block 1. Okay, but its address is passed to the block 1 so that it can access it with the help of reference and pointer. We can see the same example with another value. There we will not return anything. Okay, we will not return anything. You can see here we are returning as a integer pointer. You have to note it that when you return any value by return any parameter by value, you only write here integer. Okay, but here we are returning an address, so address would be requiring a reference variable, so the return type would be integer pointer. Fine. So the difference comes here in this program is that we will pass the address of input and output variable. Okay, so here you can see two variables have been created. That is a, this is a variable, and this is some variable. Okay, now a variable, suppose it has at the 1000 address, it has 2000 address, and the value is 54397, and there is no value assigned right now. Though, so happens when calling the function, the addresses of these two parameters is passed to the block 2. Okay, this is the block 1 of memory, which is for main, and this is block 2 of memory, which is for add digits. Okay, and this is block 2 of memory. Then this block 2 of memory would have two pointers. You can see there are two pointers. There are no actual variables here. There you can see this function has no actual variable, but it has only two pointer variables. So pointer variable, this name is t and this is s. Now what happens? This address of a is copied to this pointer t, and this address of sum is copied to s. So this T holds 1000 and this S holds 2000, right? So as these addresses are stored, this T starts pointing to A and this S starts pointing to sum. Now what will the change, whatever the change we will do in percent %t and percent %s, that would directly reflect to a variable A and variable sum. We have created a reference between block 1 and block 2, different blocks of memory. Okay, so this is how variables are passed by reference, and here we have seen that input and output parameter both we have passed. Okay, both input and output parameters are part of the calling function. Okay, and we have passed the addresses of both to the called function. Okay, now called function does not has any its own output parameter, so it would not return anything. You can see there is no return statement, and since it is not returning anything, so we have written here void. Okay, so void is a keyword which is used when there is a no data type return. Okay, if the return value
If nothing is returned, it means a void is returned. Void is simply a imaginary value. Okay, so that has no data type. Okay, so that is void keyword used, and you can remember that we use normally void main, because this main function will do some statements, and it is not meant to return anything. It only performs the operations that are given in the main body, but it does not return anything. So that is why we write this void before the main. Okay, so the same thing happens here. This void at digits means it is not going to no return. It is not going to return anything. And why does it not require to return? Because it has access directly the memory locations of the calling function, and all the changes that it want to reflect would directly reflect with the help of pointers. Okay, now as soon as this code is performed, this 54397 reduces to first 5439, then 543, 545, and then 0. So this is the value of pointer t, or we can say variable a. Okay, and this sum equals to 28 is actual value of pointer s, or we can say value of this sum. Fine. And since they are this pointer t and pointer s, any changes in these two pointers directly reflect to a and sum. So if you print after executing of the code, and when it returns, there is no output parameter. Okay, there is no output parameter, and when this code executes further, this sum is printed. And since this sum is now 28, which is the value received by pointer s, right? So this pointer s changes the value of this sum to 28, and this 28 will get printed from this sum. And here if you print the value of a, it will be 0. Okay, because this 54397 would have changed like that. 54397 would have changed like this, and in the end it would have become 0. So the final values after the execution of the called function, this would be the final values of the parameters. And you can see that the called function is running in this block, but since it is referring to various addresses of block 1, so any change in the block 2 is directly reflected at block 1 without passing the values. Okay, now the advantage is that there are some advantages, and I can also denote some disadvantages. The advantage is that no redundancy is there. Fine. So the advantage, that was the disadvantage of the passing parameters by value. Okay. Now there is no redundancy because only one copy of the actual variable is created, and that is available in the calling function. And the called function does not create a new value or a copy of the value of the actual parameters, right? The other advantage is that there is no need of passing parameters, no need of passing parameter values, parameter values, and also no need of return. You can see we don't require anything to return. So there is one thing to note why this is advantage. You need to understand this, that return statement can only return one value at a time, one value at a time. Okay, so any call can result into only returning of one value. But here you can see that since we had reference of all the variables available in the calling function, so we could made change in two values, the a and sum. So in this way we could return two values. Fine. So with the help of the passing variables by reference, you can return multiple values to the you can virtually return the multiple values. Actually you are returning nothing, but since you have been accessing all the variables or the required variables of the calling function, so you can make changes in multiple values of the calling function. So in this way you can return multiple values, fine. So this was the advantage. So the only disadvantage of the function is if the that is the advantage that is the disadvantage of pointers only, that any memory address which is not desirable to access can also be accessed if wrong references are created. Okay, so wrong references, if suppose this a is a very secret variable which not need not to be passed or should not be accessed by this block of memory, because this block concept of memory is created to save the variables of block 1 to be accessed by block 2, but using the pointers we avoid this blockage. Okay, this block is created to keep them separate. Fine, these blocks of memories are created to keep the variables of block 1 separated from block 2. But while accessing through references, we remove this breakage, right? We remove this boundary, and in this way, block 2 can access the variables of block A, which can be hazardous sometimes when you are dealing with high security applications. Okay, so normally if this is not required as a memory saving procedure, then you should not use passing variable by reference. But yes, passing variable by reference does make the program efficient enough that so that it is memory efficient also, and since you are accessing the same memory, so it becomes faster also. So this was passing variable by reference. We will see further topics of function in next video. Till then, thank you. Stay safe.